Now over to Turkey, where voters are preparing to take to the polls once again. With only 2 days until the decisive presidential runoff election, we're bringing you all the latest updates in our special coverage here on RT.
We strongly believe that we will continue to serve our nation for the next 5 years.
We will absolutely win these elections in the second round. Everyone will see.
In the runoff on Sunday, the Turkish nation will choose between incumbent President Recep Erdogan and his opposition rival Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu. In the first round, Erdogan, who's been leading the country for more than 20 years, came just short of securing 50% of the vote, while Kılıçdaroğlu won just below 45%. The third candidate, Sinan Oğan, got 5% and has since endorsed Erdogan for the runoff. However, Oğan's 8AA alliance has thrown its weight behind Kılıçdaroğlu. Let's now get some exclusive insight and analysis from Ahmet Berat ÇONKAR, a member of Turkey's ruling AK party. Many thanks for joining us on the programme. Really appreciate your time today. Now, the first round of the election was a bit of a struggle, wasn't it? The second round, only 2 candidates this time, and it's also expected to be a fierce battle. What are your expectations, besides victory, of course?
I think that in the first round of the election, AK Party and President Erdogan had a resounding victory. And we believe that in the second round, we will have a better result and we will increase the votes. In the first round, he had more than 27 million votes. And we expect these numbers to go up because we have seen that the opposition candidate has lost its message and he is very confused about his messaging. He changed his positions in many different issues. So I think that President Erdogan will have a landslide victory in the second round of the elections.
The turnout for the first round was extremely high. How would you explain that? Some Western media outlets are claiming that this was not merely the will of the Turkish people and have tried to explain the high turnout with alleged fines for non-attendance. What can you tell us about that?
As you know, in the first round of the elections, we had a turnout of over 87%. Which is one of the highest in any European democracy. So this shows that the Turkish nation is very involved in the election process, and they went out to the polls and they voted, and basically we have seen the strength of the democratic process in Turkey, and this has been a very successful election as far as the voter turnout is concerned.
There are reports that the election fever across the country over the past 2 weeks has cooled somewhat. Do you expect people to be as excited about the next round?
Yes, of course. Since this is a very important election for Turkey, our people are really excited about the second round, and we believe that we will have a similar or a bigger turnout in the second round of the elections. And we believe that our people will give a strong support to President Erdogan, and the AK Party and President Erdogan will provide the stability for the Turkish economy, and we will be having a very successful turnout in the second round as well. When we look at the campaigning continuing right now, it's pretty excited, especially President Erdogan's supporters are very dedicated to go there and to say their position, to put their voice on there.
Depending on which candidate comes out on top, the country could be steered in very different directions. We have Kılıçdaroğlu proclaiming a more Western-oriented approach, while Erdogan tends to stick to a more balanced foreign policy. How do you expect the results of the runoff to define Turkey's international agenda?
As you know, Turkey has a very balanced foreign policy as far as our neighbors are concerned. With Russia, we have important bilateral relations. And as you know, we are a part of a NATO alliance, and Turkey has its responsibilities inside the NATO. So President Erdogan and his team has successfully put together this foreign policy so that Turkey becomes a strong and independent power in its region, having good relationship with its neighbors, trying to mediate between, for example, Russia and Ukraine, so that our region gets stability and welfare for everybody. And we work on different issues like Syria, so that we can jointly achieve this stability in our region. So President Erdogan will win the second round of the elections, and we believe that Turkey's position will be a balanced position, so that we will contribute to the region in a positive way.
This particular election is being closely watched by the international community in one way because of Turkey's stance on the Ukraine conflict, and because of its ties with Russia, of course. How do you see Turkey's involvement in the Ukraine conflict amid the international efforts to mediate a peaceful solution right now?
Mm-hmm. As you know, Turkey has been the prominent power who was interested very sincerely in the peaceful resolution of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And President Erdogan has made all the efforts he could to mediate between Ukraine and Russia. We have been able to get some successful result as far as the grain deal is concerned. This has been an important contribution to solving the food security crisis all over the world. And also we had successes in exchange of the prisoners. So these kind of contributions show that Turkey will be an instrumental country in the resolution of these crises in the future as well. We hope that we can continue this engagement with both Russia and Ukraine in a positive manner, so that when the time comes, we will be able to contribute to the peaceful resolution of this conflict.
And how do you see Turkey's current status and prospects of its relations with the United States and its other NATO allies?
As you know, Turkey has been a member of the NATO alliance for the last 70 years, and it has done its part. It has played its role as a reliable partner and ally inside the alliance, but we also put out our own positions as far as our national security is concerned. We have been quite open about defending our national security positions if there is an issue inside NATO. So we always wanted to be this mediating power as well when it comes to NATO's relations with other countries, as in the case of Russia or China, so that we have a better understanding of the geopolitics and where the world is going. So Turkey will be making great contributions to general foreign affairs and world policies with its experience in the West and its good relations with other countries all over the world.
And how do you see Turkey's position changing under Kılıçdaroğlu?
Mr. Kılıçdaroğlu, as he made it very clear, he took a very negative stance against Russia, and it was a huge mistake by their side, because they should have known that Turkey has a very important bilateral relationship with Russia, and this goes back to a very long time in our history. So this shows that Mr. Kılıçdaroğlu and his team doesn't have enough experience in foreign affairs, and they don't have the ability to run a country like Turkey.
You know, some critics, especially in the West, accuse the Turkish government of limiting the freedom of speech in the country. What's your response to that, taking into consideration the fact that Western countries themselves have also been shutting down media outlets they don't like and generally tend to crack down on alternative narratives, ourselves included?
It is just negative propaganda on Turkey. We totally reject that because in Turkey we have freedom of expression, we have all the media outlets, local, national or international media organizations. They are free to broadcast, they can work in Turkey inside or outside, and everybody has the freedom of speech, the campaigning. It's a very lively environment, very democratic, very open, so that every opinion is heard by the Turkish nation. So those allegations are groundless and baseless, and we have seen this, we have experienced this in this election process very, very clearly.
Of course, one of the biggest issues plaguing Turkey at the moment is inflation. What steps is the government taking to address this problem?
As far as the inflation is concerned, as you know, the world has gone through a pandemic, a huge, impacts on the economies. Also, oil prices and prices of goods going up all over the world. Turkey was not immune from this. So we had our ways to deal with inflation, and we were successful in getting the inflation down 40% in the last 6 months. And we believe that the inflation will be going to the single digits by the end of this year. We have put up or increased the level of employment in the last year alone by 2 million, adding by 2 million jobs. The economy is growing, the exports are growing, the tourism revenues are growing. So there are very positive developments in the side of economy, and the inflation is actually getting lower and lower every day. And after the election process, with the foreign direct investment coming and with the positive environment, I believe that we will have much more better developments as far as the fighting with inflation is concerned.
I imagine it's going to be an extremely busy weekend for you. I thank you for your time today. Really appreciate it. Ahmet Berat ÇONKAR, a member of Turkey's ruling AK party. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for